What's going on, everybody? Welcome. This is Matt with Honor Your Health. It is January 4th. Happy New Year. I have some things to discuss today, and I think everyone needs to hear this. So I think we're just going to go right to the chase. I think our biggest problem is that people sabotage themselves, and everyone in America specifically wants a quick fix. And I think it's the biggest problem with our society today is that nobody wants to put in any hard work. The second anything starts to happen or you start to see a result or anything like that, you sabotage yourself because you think, I know better. You think, I've got this. I don't need anyone's help anymore. And I think it's the biggest issue. I think the biggest issue is yourself, right? I think so many people think they know better than a professional who's been doing it for 20 years, 15 years, whatever, right? I hear all the time people say to me, how did you get here? It took time. How did you do this? It took time. People don't realize that we have been so brainwashed and manipulated to thinking that things happen overnight. One of the biggest issues in our country is your mindset. You sabotage yourself, you sabotage your family, we are a nation of people who have no belief in themselves, who want to control every aspect of life, who have no faith in God. And it's a problem, y'all. Like, it's a real problem. I'm all about capitalism, I'm all about making money, but if you are doing all that at the expense of your own integrity, at the expense of sabotaging yourself, at the expense of trying to control everything, at the expense of your own family. Like, I have a client that I have to have a deep conversation with today because she, her kid doing amazing for the past month, for 1 month, you guys, 1 month. Okay. If there's anything I tell people in this practice, health is not a 30, 60, 90 day, nothing timeline. It's a lifelong process. And we are here for proactive health to make sure that you don't need to go on medication. You don't need you don't need all that stuff because you are doing so phenomenally well. Or if something happens, we take care of it in a proactive way, right? 1 month, a client was with me, 1 month, her kid, and says, oh, I took him off of it. I'm sorry, what? Oh yeah, I took him off supplementation. Why? I didn't think he needed it. Oh, whose decision was that? Mine? Okay. How's he doing now? Not so good. Yeah, because you didn't consult the professional who's been doing this for enough time to know, yeah, that's not a good idea. And now his behavior has literally tanked. Okay. So forgive me, but I get very frustrated because we are a nation who thinks we know everything. We are a nation of people who know it all, right? You think after you've been doing something for 6 months, oh, I know everything, that you're the smartest person in the room. If there's one thing I was taught at a very young age, it's that when you're the smartest person in the room, you need to find a different room because you never want to be the smartest person in any room. You always have stuff to learn. And the second that you think you've got it all figured out is the second you just finished and you just ended your entire knowledge base. And I'm not saying that to be rude or mean. I'm saying it to be factual and to wake you guys up. Because truly, it's so frustrating to watch the mindset of Americans in that, and people in general. It's not just America. I think it's just society. We have this like coddling phase, like this coddling generation. It's not just like Gen Z. I don't think it's any specific generation. I think it's 100% everyone, right? Like 99% of the population today, they want to be coddled. Everyone wants to be politically correct. Everyone's afraid of just like speaking their mind and in a kind way. Everyone's terrified of not being right and not listen. Like no one listens anymore. We're also scared of, I think we got into this space of fear about health. It's like insane to me. I get it. I get what COVID did, but at the end of the day, it's like, y'all need to realize that it was a way to make you so afraid of healing and of health and of the fact that your body is more resilient than you give it credit for. So the biggest problem, in my opinion, is the fact that you all sabotage yourselves every day and you don't even know it because you don't ask yourself questions. You think you know it all. You think you've got it all figured out. and you meet with somebody for 1 week or 1 month or even for 1 year, and you think, oh, I've got it all figured out. Guess what? You don't know anything. You don't. Because there's still things that I'm learning about health. There's still things that I'm learning about finance, every aspect in life that I'm like, I could do better here. I could do better. So if you're thinking to yourself all the time that you've got it all figured out, you're wrong. And you need to stop. The biggest thing with people anymore that I see too, not only the sabotaging aspect, but we all like to really complain about stuff, right? We are chronic complainers. You don't want to change anything in life, but you can sit there and complain for days about it, right? For weeks, months, years about, oh, I hate my life. But what do you do to fix it or to change it? You don't look at yourself at all. You go, oh, it's your fault, Matt. You're the one. Your supplements made this. I didn't do shit. I didn't do anything to you. You did it to yourself, right? And I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm not trying to this is just my personality, honestly, is because I think we need it. I think people in this world, I can be kind and also be a little aggressive because that's who I am. And I'm not afraid to say that I'm a little aggressive at times because it gets really frustrating when you are seeing people day in and day out, doing things day in and day out that I've said, stop doing that, or look at yourself in the mirror or what have you. But you're so afraid to change anything because of either, that might mean I have to sacrifice that. And that might mean that I can't have fun on the weekends or I can't do XYZ on the weekends. Guess what? Okay. But do you feel good? Okay. Well, that's what you wanted. You wanted to feel good. You wanted to sleep. I'm just showing you the things that could be holding you back from that, right? When I see a parent who wants their kid to get healthy and the kid's doing amazing for a long period of time, and then she goes, I just stopped giving it to him. Why? Oh, I didn't think he needed it anymore. Well, how did you know that? I guess I didn't. I just assumed. Oh, so you assume. So you're, again, America, we are the biggest we assume everything. That's why people are overthinkers, why people are overanalyzers, why people don't know how to communicate, and why we need all these HR departments is because nobody can just go directly to the source. Everyone is so terrified of having conflict anymore and having discussions and debates about things that we literally are so weak mentally because nobody can everyone assumes that they know better or that they know more or what have you versus having a discussion and a conversation, right? And I think and believe that if people would stop sabotaging themselves and get out of their way of the body healing, if they would stop thinking they know everything and just let things happen and let things flow and stop trying to think that you've got it all figured out, you would see a massive difference in society. But right now, people are just in this space of needing control all the time and needing to figure it out all the time and have this timeline of if I don't make it, this is why I hate goals, right? I write things down every day, and I write down dreams and visions of what I want my life to look like and feel like every day. But the second I write it down, I forget about it. And I go, okay, now let's just live in the present moment and see what happens. But right now, you write down a goal and you have this strict timeline. I even know people who literally, if they don't take a shit by 9:00 in the morning, they panic and they try to force a shit. And I'm like, guys, this is not how the body works. You need to chill out. It's ridiculous. How do you expect the body to release when you're literally like, I'm going to figure it out. If I don't go by this time, then, Same thing with sleep. If I don't fall asleep and if I don't get that 8 hours every single night, then something's going to chill out. Chill. This is how screwed up truly, I don't even listen to a lot of stuff anymore I'm very discerning on what I listen to anymore because the problem with, I think the internet's a great tool. The problem with it is that if you have no discernment here, you're going to be listening to a whole lot of crap all day long to the point where you're almost like, I don't even know what's real anymore. I don't even know. Should I be listening to this? You don't even ask yourself questions on, should I be listening to this? Should I be watching anything right now? Should I be reading? You don't even ask. That's another big problem is that people don't even ask themselves questions like, why am I sabotaging this right now? And if the reason is because I think I know better, then maybe you need to look at yourself in the mirror. I think people are this is where we are so conditioned to our own mind and to our own, we think we know it, our own knowing, right? Versus letting go, man. Like, there are certain things that I have realized that, like, I'm all about producing, I'm all about creating business, I'm all about helping and transforming and all that stuff and educating and encouraging people. But there is a point where I'm like, I did what I can do. And now I need to let people fail and let people figure it out and let people understand that this process of healing, this process of life is one of learning and failing and succeeding. And if you don't let people do that, and if you don't give people space to do that, they're never going to learn. It's a really hard thing to learn in business and in life, is letting people, I'm going to say, if there's any kids in the room, like, plug their ears. You need to let people fuck it up, man. Let them fuck it up. Because right now, this is like the worst I've seen it, is that people are so afraid of failing. They're so afraid of screwing it up and taking risks. And that's why we have such punks in the world right now, is that everyone's so afraid of taking a risk on themselves and on their families and on their business. They're so afraid of taking a deep risk. Guys, our founding fathers, the people that are most successful in the world, they took the biggest risks. And we're afraid of, it's like, we're so afraid of, like, money and spending money and energy and health. We're so afraid of ourselves. Like, you're so afraid of yourself and you have no belief in what your body can do and what your mind can do, that you are just like, oh, I need to control it because it's the only thing I know how to do. Well, then maybe you need to start looking at yourself and looking at, what can I do to change that? All right. So, biggest problem right now, sabotage and complaining. You can change your life if you look at yourself in the mirror. Look at your priorities. If your priorities are, look at your top 3 priorities. And if you're not doing stuff every day to make those priorities happen, you're not doing something right. If you are sabotaging your health and your nutrition and things like that, knowing that your body is a temple and you should treat it as such, and you know that you can be doing better, well, what are you doing about it? What are you doing about it? There is an aspect of things that you can do to control and things that you can do to make things happen. There's another aspect of, all right, let go now. Okay? Stop trying to be the one to figure it out. Don't be the smartest one in the room. Be the dumbest one in the room, because being the dumbest one in the room, you're going to learn so much more than people who think they got it all figured out. Because I've seen people who think they've got it all figured out and they are arrogant as all hell. And it's not attractive. Okay? You're not the smartest one in the room. And don't try to be. Learn every day. Read every day. Listen to something that you like and ask yourself what to read. Where should I go? And the more you ask yourself, God will give you those answers. But you need to ask yourself those questions, okay? Peace, love, and crush it.